DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry.
No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
LSU's baseball season came to an end yesterday after losing 3-1 to Auburn in the SEC tournament last night. With the loss, LSU holds a final record of 30-28 on the year and finished 9-21 in conference play. The Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns won an absolute thriller yesterday against Coastal Carolina 12-11 in the Sun Belt tournament. The Cajuns were up 7-0 before Coastal battled back to tie it. Then after a short rain delay, UL moved back out to a 5-run lead. Then in the bottom of the ninth, Coastal put up a 4 spot and had the tying run 90 feet away from scoring but couldn't bring him in, securing the win for Louisiana. Now the Cajuns will play tonight against Texas State at 7:30 p.m. McNeese baseball will be in Beaumont, Texas this afternoon to take on Lamar in the Southland Conference Tournament Championship. It's a best-of-3 series for the Southland title, and first pitch in Game 1 is at 6 p.m. tonight at Vincent Beck Stadium. The Minnesota Twins beat the Houston Astros 4-1 yesterday afternoon to take the series victory. Houston will now have an off day today as they head over to Wrigley to take on the Cubs this Friday. The LSU men's golf team and UL's Milan Potgieter will be headed to the NCAA Championships in Carlsbad, California. The championship rounds will get underway May 29th at the North Course at Omni La Costa. And LSU football announced it would be bringing back former head coach Ed Orgeron to serve as a special assistant to recruiting and defense. Coach O has coached under Coach Kiffin at numerous stops throughout their careers and was most recently let go by LSU in 2021 after a 6-6 season. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles on this very interesting, lots to talk about as always on this Thursday. We've got McNeese playing Lamar tonight. We've got the Cajuns scheduled to play the fourth game tonight in Montgomery. We'll see how that goes. We've got LSU season ended last night, but these two games were worth reviewing. Very strange games for just a totally ironic way to end the LSU baseball season. And we'll get to all of that in addition to another very interesting NBA game last night between the Spurs and the Thunder. But first, we have an opportunity to talk with UL men's basketball coach Quantis White after a very busy offseason that is either done or close to done. So we wanted to get caught up with Coach. How are you, Coach?
Kevin, I'm doing good. Doing good.
So is the off season pretty much done or not really yet?
No, we're done. We've been done for almost maybe a week and a half. Last kid that we signed was a kid by the name of Josiah Harris. He's transferring in from Cleveland State. Played at Akron. He's been to a couple different spots. He also played for Coach Huggins for 2 years at West Virginia. So he was our last kid that we signed.
All right, so let's go back to, obviously, especially in today's era, the season ends and you lose a certain amount of players, and if you're very fortunate, you don't, but almost everyone loses a certain amount of players. So when you kind of knew who you were losing, was there was it a position search, or was it more okay, we got just a numbers search, like we got to replace the numbers, or were there specific positions that you absolutely had to replace?
Yeah, well, recruiting never stopped. Unfortunately, we lost some guys that, we wanted to keep and bring back, but it allowed us, when we lost those guys, to get better. And I think our roster is better this year than it was last year. And so we got some front court depth. We got a ton of experience. All these guys, Makai Cooper, who's transferred in from Lindenwood, who's a point guard, is a senior. Josiah Harris is a senior, who's a front court player. Danny Pounds is a senior. Danny Pounds actually started off his career in the Sun Belt, played at Old Dominion. But all of these guys bring in, a ton of experience. They're older, and, I think our roster got better. We especially, have a talented group that I think is going to do something special this year.
You are a guy who's, I can't even count how many times you used the word development since the first time I interviewed you, and that's what we lived with. It's a little bit trickier to try to have a developmental program in this transfer portal era that we're in. Where have you had to kind of shift a little bit on that, or is it trying to do the best of both worlds there?
No, I think, you are who you are. We're still a development program. Now if guys are in a program longer than a year, then, obviously it benefits and they continue to get better and your team continues to get better. And so we got some guys that have returned. Jamiron Keller's back, although he didn't play last year, but all the entire summer he spent with us is going to help him. He's familiar with the system. He's now back 100% healthy. He's been working out every single day here in Lafayette and, back home. And so all these guys are eager to get back here. But, you never change, who you are and what you're really good at. All those guys that were here, you take Dorian Finister, who, just look at the three-point percentage from his time at Sam Houston to now. At one point last season, Dorian Finister was shooting 50% from the three. Well, he wasn't here 2 years. He ended the year shooting 30, I think right at 37%. But the year before, he shot 28%.
Right.
So, the development does not change. We're really good at developing our guys. And, again, we got a, talented, experienced group of guys that we've signed to go along with the guys that we brought back, and I think we're going to be really, really good. The Cajuns should be excited.
All right, so you mentioned guys that you brought in that could handle the ball and be potential floor leaders. At times, once Jamiron went down last year, you had to kind of make some guys who were more off-ball guys, on-ball guys. So besides Makai, which other newcomers could potentially be floor leader, point guard type guys?
Yeah, you take Isaiah Wilkes, who got Gatorade Player of the Year. out there in Oklahoma. His dad is the assistant coach with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Trent Middleton, who's transferring in from North Carolina State. We got multiple guys that can handle the ball and initiate offense. Kind of kind of blessing in disguise when Jamar Keller did go down, who also can play the point as well. Davion Laverne getting all that experience. I mean, you never want to lose guys throughout the season like we did, but the silver lining in it all is Davion Laverne got great experience last year, and so you got multiple guys that can play that position, can handle the ball, and that can get into the paint and create opportunities for their teammates. And so I'm really excited, Kevin, about this team. Can't wait till they get here. All of our guys will be here. I want to say between June 2nd and the 5th, and we'll get started June 8th, and then we'll hit the ground rolling.
All right, you mentioned Trent Middleton. Obviously, if everyone's reasonably healthy, you'll have. It sounds like you got multiple opportunities as floor leader. So, what would his natural role be? How do you kind of envision him contributing to the team?
Well, Trent is he's a guy that can score the ball at all three levels. He's a scorer. He's also a guy that can play the point. So when Makai Cooper, Isaiah Wilkes, Jamar Keller is not at the point, you can slide Trent Middleton to the point as well because he's done it. He's done it all his career, but he also is a elite scorer. He's tough. And I think one of the underrated things about Trent Middleton's game is his defense, his own ball defense. He's a really good defender. And so, when we recruit, we don't just look at guys that can score the ball. I'm big on defense, on the defensive end. So you have to be able to defend in this program to be able to play.
Speaking of defense, I had a chance to interview Dion Ware, and he kind of considers himself kind of a defensive first guy, and I've often questioned why coaches don't recruit defensive guys. You always have guys that are on scholarship or on the bench that don't play a whole lot. It seemed like in my mind, you could always recruit a guy who has the potential to shut down elite scores on the opposition. Tell us about Dion.
Yeah, losing Dorian Finister, who's athletic. I thought Dorian had the potential to be a really good rebounder, especially as time went on and we continued to develop him. But losing him and replacing him with Dion Ware, in my mind, you replaced Dorian. Dion Ware is extremely athletic. He's got a high IQ, and he has the potential to be, I think, one of the best defensive players in the Sun Belt, just with his quickness, his athleticism, and his toughness. And so, we got a really good group of guards and frontline guys. And, the unique thing about this team is a lot of these guys have played together at different places, whether it's been at prep school. Dion Ware and Danny Pounds were at Old Dominion together. Dion Ware and Jamar Keller played high school ball together. So when you talk about team chemistry and, being strategic in the recruiting process and putting the team together, all of that went into signing these guys too.
All right. The one guy I probably know the least about, although did get a chance to talk to Derek, was prep school guy Derek Florence from Mobile. Tell us about him.
Extremely talented. Like Dion, has the potential to be a really good defender. I think Derek Florence is, like I said just about guys in the past, his best basketball is way ahead of him. He has a huge upside, has the ability to be a really good three-point shooter. But, how they label guys in the NBA, when they talk about 3 and D guys, I think that's where Derek Florence can be one day. He's a guy that can become a really good three-point shooter, and then I think he can be a two-way guy, cause havoc on the defensive end with his athleticism, his length. He's about 6'5", 6'6". a little similar to Joshua Lewis. Derek Florence may be a little bit more athletic, but same type of game.
You mentioned Isaiah Wilkes a few times, and obviously you had a true freshman point guard last year in Mike Collins who got some playing time, and when you had some injuries, he got even more playing time than maybe some of us were thinking. Would you say Wilkes, from the readiness standpoint, would be a little ahead of Mike, or about similar to what Mike was last year at this time?
You know, all those guys are freshmen, right? And so, but I think the environment that Wilkes is coming from gives him an upper hand on not just Mike, but any freshman that's coming into a program. You know, being around his dad who played in the NBA, you know, from time to time, you know, Isaiah spends time working out with Shea Gilgeous, who, you know, is the MVP of the NBA. So when you are in that environment, and because of that, you know, you'll come in more ready to play than, you know, half the freshmen across the country. You know, so just from an experience and being in that environment, and you know, I think that's going to give him an edge and an upper hand on all the other freshmen.
So overall, are you envisioning a deeper squad that's a little more polished for, you know, when y'all get into fall camp than you had a year ago, or how would you classify it?
Yeah, we're more experienced. Again, you know, bringing in Trent Middleton, Makai Cooper, who's played at Miami of Ohio, who could have went to the NCAA tournament twice. I talked to Coach Steele. He loves him, did not want to lose him. And so when you have guys like that, Danny Pounds and Josiah Harris, and you return Jamar Keller, who was your best player. You just didn't have him last year. And so this group is more experienced, and as a whole, they're more talented. And so, yeah, I think that's going to give us a great chance to be extremely competitive in the upcoming season.
All right, Coach, we wanted to catch up with you. We appreciate your time. Look forward to the season getting here and the summer workouts. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a great day.
All right, you too, sir. UL men's basketball coach Quantis White. We'll take a timeout and be back. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
May is Military Appreciation Month, and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, and Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service off I-49 in Carencro are honoring our military all month long. Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service owners Stacy and Dawn Benoit would like to take this opportunity to recognize all of our current service members, veterans, and families. Nolan's takes pride in honoring all military personnel and first responders with special discounts on their zero-turn mowers. May is Military Appreciation Month, and we salute you. Powered by Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry.
No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Louisiana at highschoolofficials.com.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and your home for the LSU Tigers.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Welcome in. And wanted to get Coach Quantas White. Been trying to get him on the show and wanted to get everyone, us and everyone, all the listeners updated on the newcomers that they have. And they do have quite a few seniors that are going to be coming in. It's the whole college world right now is so tricky. You never know what to expect. I mean, a couple of these guys, they're going to be in their fourth school in 4 years. Now, they're obviously, theoretically at least, better than they were 2 years ago and 3 years ago, which is, if you're getting them at the end, theoretically you're getting the best product. But, I mean, that's just hard to put all together. And so I wanted to just get his impressions on the players that they brought in basketball, because that is going on while all this baseball stuff is going on. All right. Yesterday, what a crazy day. What a crazy day. The Cajuns have been playing very well. They're up 7-0. But what was the biggest off-season emphasis? Freebies, freebies, freebies. So it's 7-0. You give up a solo homer to a guy who is not having a good season in Pato, but his name is Blagan Pato. He's an interesting individual.
Yeah, that was it's one of the most interesting names I've heard in college baseball.
So he hits a one-out solo homer, 7-1. It's not a big deal. You strike out the next batter. But then you hit the next two batters with 2 outs. You got 2 outs, nobody on base. You're up 7-1 in the fifth. Everything's still fine. And then you hit 2 batters. Then a guy who is hitting in the 3-hole of a nationally ranked team has 0 home runs on the season, which is still a mind-boggling stat to me.
Yeah.
Okay. He has 0 home runs on the season, and he hits a 3-run homer. And at that point, you go, uh-oh. And then in the 6th, you give up a single, and then a walk, and then a sacrifice, and then Pato hits another. He hits the 3-run homer.
Yeah.
And just like that, it was crazy.
I think almost 90% of teams that if they were in UL shoes in that position would have crumbled and lost once the other team came back and tied it.
Okay, so the beauty of this team is they don't seem to worry about that stuff because the very next inning they went out and scored. Now, they made some mistakes. Like the Cajuns really, without some bad base running mistakes, they made 3 of them in the game. They really should have scored 13 runs.
Yeah. No, there was definitely some questionable decisions on the pads.
Awful base running mistakes. And still, though, instead of just faltering, like you said, like a lot of teams do in that season, they went right out and scored 3 runs in the 7th, and then they scored 2 more in the 8th.
Yeah.
And you can tell, I don't know if you were watching the game or following it in a different way, but
I watched until the rain delay.
In the 9th, when they started making the comeback and they got the 2-run triple to cut it to 12-11, you could see the look on the faces of some of the players from Coastal. They thought the game was over. Like they weren't like determined and in the fight. They were like faces of shock. Like, what is going on here?
What can we do to beat this team?
I mean, this is unbelievable. And so they, so really, I was surprised that they hit Pappenbrock like they did in that last inning because he has been pitching really well. Now, to be fair, not every closer pitches 3 innings. And I know the college closer role is different than the major league closer role. I mean, no major league closer goes 3 innings ever. But not only did he go 3 innings, but in the middle of his 3-inning stint was a 51-minute rain delay.
Yeah.
So usually when you have a rain delay that long or longer, you don't even come back into the game, which was my biggest question as the rain delay began. Like, is Pappenbrock going to be able to come back? And so he pitches 2 innings, fine. Everything's going good. 7th, they didn't score. 8th, they didn't score. And then in the 9th, it is just, that last inning, and you're like the old cliche, which there's some truth to it, the heart of a champion, that kind of thing, and they just didn't want to go down easy. Now, what did he do? Walk the first batter. Now, it was a walk that he earned, but still he walked him. And then you get a couple singles, and it's like, they need to get another out here. And then all of a sudden you hit a triple off the wall, and it's 12-11, and it's 1 out. You're like, uh-oh. And then at that point, they change pitchers, and Parker Smith comes in, and it just shows you, like, just how you can just change the momentum. You go from a left-handed pitcher who's throwing kind of 3/4 and sidearm to a right-handed pitcher who's throwing more over the top, and it worked.
Yeah,
and he got a huge strikeout. And then they brought in Hayden Pearson, pitches to 1 batter, gets a ground ball, the game's over. I mean, that was. I mean, you blew a 7-run lead, and you were just a fraction away of blowing a 5-run lead, but you won the game.
Yeah, and again, blowing the 7th-run lead, there's a lot of teams, majority of teams would have crumbled. Blowing a 5-run lead after that, more are going to crumble.
Right.
It was incredible.
And even when you get when you get it to 12-11, there's a runner at 31 out, you're going, uh-oh.
Yeah, now we just got to play to extra innings and hope we can get there.
But they got it done. There's so many things that happened in that game. You're starting center fielder who's just been on fire, and Noah Lewis gets injured, and Maddox Mandino, who's had kind of a strange season.
Yeah.
He started the year getting a lot of playing time. He had some success, and then he kind of didn't play a lot. He had a little bit of an injury, didn't play a lot, and then he got that incident where he got thrown out and caused all of that furor, and he wasn't playing as much, and so Noah gets hurt. He comes in. He gets 4 hits off the bench.
Yeah,
and just tremendous. Steven Spalita had a weird line. He was, I think, 1 for 4 with 5 RBI.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
Yeah, you don't see a line like that very often. But no, he it was, obviously the days of, man, this team can't hit or kind of have been over for a while, but they're really over right now. They are crushing the ball and doing a lot of good things offensively. One of the things that struck me this past weekend when they played the Coastal Series, and it struck me again yesterday when it actually happened more. Like, if you remember, when we were previewing the Coastal Series this past weekend, we talked a lot about how great at small ball they were, and they led the country and hit batsmen, and that really wasn't that much of a factor over the weekend. It was yesterday. Over the weekend, and Coastal really didn't execute the small ball game in Lafayette very well in the 3-game series this past weekend. And the Cajuns passed up on a lot of opportunities to bunt in that series. I really thought that was going to be more of a small ball series, but it really wasn't. Like, Coastal at least twice didn't execute the bunt, maybe more. And the Cajuns had opportunities to bunt. I'm like, why are they not bunting here? And it kind of worked out. They won the series, but I was kind of surprised. Well, fast forward to yesterday's game. In that 7th inning, without the bunt, they don't score those 3 runs.
Yeah.
And Coastal didn't play it all that well. And it played a big role in what they did. And so it's like the bunt kind of played more of a factor. Yeah, it's like they went back to the bunt game when they kind of didn't use it when they played over the weekend. I thought that was a little strange.
Yeah, it's almost like every game, what we expected was kind of the complete opposite. I can tell you, I was texting Dawson yesterday, and I was like, man, I just beating Coastal again, that's going to be tough. Like, I'm not too confident, and then you look up, and it's 7-0 Cajuns. And it was unreal. And then they come back, and you're like, oh, great, here we go. And then it's 12-7 Cajuns. There were so many opportunities to blow that lead yesterday or blow the game, and they just kept on. It's like Coach Degg said. They are all business in this tournament. And do we have an update on Lewis? Or
no, he didn't give an update in post game. He didn't look bad on the sideline, but that can be deceiving.
Yeah,
he didn't have anything on it. His wrist.
Yeah, he looked like he was in good spirit.
It looked like it would be okay, but again, that's just an impression. Certainly, nothing close to a diagnosis there. And so we'll see how that plays out. For those who may not have paid attention, the Cajun game started at 12:30. It ended right before 6 o'clock, it seems.
Yeah.
They had a 51-minute rain delay, and then the game lasted forever because it was a 12-11 game. And so the last game had a 2-hour and 20-minute rain. And so I don't know what time they finished. I tried to look it up. I didn't see what time they finished. But in other words, they didn't even get the 4th game in.
Yeah, that was this morning.
So the 4th game from last night
should be
is playing
30 minutes in.
It
right
already
now.
started, yeah, unless there's weather. But what I'm saying is there's probably a decent chance the Cajuns won't even play tonight. Because the Cajuns are now playing, they were originally supposed to play the 4 o'clock game this afternoon. They're playing the 7:30 game. Well, the 7:30 game last night never got played. It's getting played right now.
Yeah, and you said the weather doesn't look good.
And I don't think the weather report's all that great today either. And so it's very possible the Cajuns won't play tonight.
So, right now it's South Alabama and Troy, and they're in the top of the second, tied 0-0.
And Southern Miss barely beat Georgia State, and it just goes to show you how fooled you can be. When Georgia State came to Lafayette, they didn't look good at all.
No, they did not. They looked terrible.
They did not look good. They were the least impressive team I saw, Sunbelt team I saw all year, and yet they scored 17 runs on Tuesday, and they came within a hair of beating Southern Miss last night.
It just tournament baseball is such a wacky thing.
It is. It's like a lot of it is what I said. Some guys at this time of the year all business, and some guys ready to barbecue on the beach. So we'll see how it goes. But no, since Tuesday the games have been great. I mean, the Tuesday playing games were awful. Well, not for the teams that won, but in terms of the competitiveness of the games.
There was 14 innings.
And since then, all the games have been great. And so we'll see what happens there. Look, I don't know what the weather's going to do from here on out in this tournament, but I think for the Cajuns, if like the rest of the tournament gets rained out, I'd vote for that.
Yeah, you told me earlier you want it to just be done.
I got no problem. Like, if it rains for the next 3 days and they never play the tournament, they can name whoever they want to the tournament champion. If I'm the Cajuns, I'll vote for that.
I mean, I think they've definitely solidified a spot in the postseason.
I think right now they're in. I think the problem is because look, let's say they lose to Texas State, which they're 0-3 on the season against Texas State. Doesn't mean they're going to lose, but I mean, let's just say they lose.
Yeah.
It could easily happen. Then they don't even have. They're going to probably be pitching Tillett in game. So if they lose, for everyone who thinks they're in now, do they think the same way if they lose today and tomorrow? That's what I'm saying. If you eliminate today and tomorrow, I think they're in.
It's tough. I mean, I know we're worried about Tillett pitching, but people tend to, rise to the occasion when it comes to tournament ball, and it could happen. He needs to do it, and I think, what better place to do it than the Sun Belt Conference tournament?
Again, I love J.R. Tillett, but he just hasn't pitched well.
No, he really hasn't, and it stinks because last year he was incredible all year round. He was my favorite pitcher on the team.
Tremendous, yeah. Just it's baseball. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
LSU's baseball season came to an end yesterday after losing 3-1 to Auburn in the SEC tournament last night. With the loss, LSU holds a final record of 30-28 on the year and finished 9-21 in conference play. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns won an absolute thriller yesterday against Coastal Carolina, 12-11 in the Sun Belt tournament. The Cajuns were up 7-0 before Coastal battled back to tie it. Then after a short rain delay, UL moved back out to a 5-run lead. Then in the bottom of the ninth, Coastal put up a 4 spot and had the tying run 90 feet away from scoring but couldn't bring him in, securing the win for Louisiana. Now the Cajuns will play tonight against Texas State at 7:30 p.m. McNeese baseball will be in Beaumont, Texas this afternoon to take on Lamar in the Southland Conference Tournament Championship. It's a best-of-3 series for the Southland title, and first pitch in Game 1 is at 6 p.m. tonight at Vincent Beck Stadium. The Minnesota Twins beat the Houston Astros 4-1 yesterday afternoon to take the series victory. Houston will now have an off day today as they head over to Wrigley to take on the Cubs this Friday. The LSU men's golf team and UL's Milan Potgieter will be headed to the NCAA Championships in Carlsbad, California. The championship rounds will get underway May 29th at the North Course at Omni La Costa. And LSU football announced it would be bringing back former head coach Ed Orgeron to serve as a special assistant to recruiting and defense. Coach O has coached under Coach Kiffin at numerous stops throughout their careers and was most recently let go by LSU in 2021 after a 6-6 season. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Bryson Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Bryson Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSBA filing number LA2518447.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes. And the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag zero-turn lawnmowers.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, certainly feel free to do so, 706-0111. All right, so we'll wait and see what's going on. We'll update you on the Troy-South Alabama game in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Last night in Hoover, it just no one is shocked that LSU lost to Auburn or even beat Oklahoma and that the season's over. But the two games were shocking. Like, LSU gave up 3 runs and 7 hits against a pretty good Auburn team. How many SEC games would LSU have won giving up 3 runs and 7 hits? A lot.
Yeah.
So they gave up 5 runs in 2 SEC tournament games. That's incredible.
After giving up what seemed like 1,000 in the weeks before.
So, again, the fact that they went 1-1 was not surprising at all. But the 2 games, the way they were played was like, who is this team?
Yeah.
And where has this team been?
No, it was weird to watch.
Tournament games are different, no question, because it's a mental deal and it's different. But those were bizarre games, is what I'm saying. Not who won, but how the games were played, because LSU hadn't shown the ability to. Oklahoma's not a great team, but Auburn's pretty good, but they're still two pretty good teams. To give up 5 runs in 2 games, it was astonishing, but it happened. So we'll see what happens tonight in Beaumont with McNeese, and we'll be able to talk about that game tomorrow with Tom, and so we've got that going on. The other thing that took place last night is the Game 2 of the Western Conference in the NBA, another really interesting game. These 2 teams are really good. I think some people feel like, I told y'all a long time ago, and I had to give up basketball because I just don't have the temperament for basketball. And the officials have way too much to do with the outcome of games in basketball. And it's not all how many fouls and all that, which a lot of times it is. It's, I think the officials are going to largely dictate who wins this series, because last night they allowed the Thunder, especially Hartenstein, to foul Wemby over and over and over and over and over again. And you call a couple of them, but, it's kind of like the old offensive line theory. I'm going to hold on every play. They're not going to call holding on every play.
Yeah.
And so if they call it 5 times or 4 times, it's not good, but I'm holding on every play. And so if they call it 4 or 5 times, I can live with that. A lot of, especially at the high school level, you have that approach.
Yeah, a little more lenient.
And so it's kind of like, it shouldn't matter. It's like I've always said that the toughest thing, it's so tough to win on the opponent's floor. And I've never understood that statement, especially in mid-majors like the Sun Belt. Well, there's 2,000 people there. How can it be that difficult?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's the deal of, okay, are they going to call it the same way in San Antonio that they do in Oklahoma City? Which it shouldn't matter.
No, it shouldn't.
But that'll be close to monitor.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting a rival conference's officiating crew for the game like they do in college. So it should be right down the middle.
It's just interesting. The other thing is, obviously SGA played a lot better. That made sense. Too many turnovers. Like Castle, he's got 20 turnovers in 2 games. Like last night, the Spurs had 21 turnovers. Thunder had 9. Like, they got to stop turning over the basketball so much. Now, the Thunder is a great defensive team, and they have a lot of depth, and they can come at you in waves, although they're a little banged up. And so were them. There was a lot of, injuries in the backcourt last night. But they've got to stop making so many careless mistakes for sure. And even with all of that, Wemby still was 21, 17, and 6.
Yeah, and
man, is he good. But
it's a quiet game for him too.
But again, they've got to figure out: are the officials going to call? They're going to let him get pushed around a lot, or are they not going to let him? And I think if they let him get pushed around a lot, the Thunder are going to win. And if they don't let him get pushed around a lot, the Spurs are going to win. I mean, it might be that simple right now. Now, again, the other factors in there, you got to stop turning over the basketball so much.
That was the difference.
Yeah, you cannot have one of your primary ball handlers cannot have 20 turnovers in 2 games. He's got to get better at that. And so, we'll see. Because the free throw discrepancy wasn't all that dramatic. The Spurs were 15 of 17 at the line, and the Thunder was 19 of 24. So essentially, they just let them play, which favors the Thunder.
Yeah.
And so, again, it's so much in basketball has to do with the officials because, like I say, the officials determine who plays. If I call 2 or 3 touch fouls on you while the other guys are able to push and shove, well, then I'm determining who's on the floor as the official.
Yeah.
I just can't. That's just
NBA
hard for me.
Officiating never has had a history of rigging games or anything.
Basketball officiating is an impossible task.
Yeah.
And that's the combination I don't like. To me, it's a sport that cannot be properly officiated. And they have the more of a bearing on who wins. And so think about how bad of a daily double that is. I mean, that's like a 2-time loser. It's the hardest sport to officiate because somebody's fouling on every single possession.
And everything is subjective.
And the officials are naturally, their calls impact the game more because of the way the sport is played. And so it's the hardest to officiate, and the officials' rulings impact the game more than officials' rulings in any other sport. And so that's why I had to say, all right, I grew up loving this sport, but I got to go. And again, I still watch basketball. Yeah. I still have interest in basketball, but I don't.
I mean, the NFL.
My heart is not on the line on every game like it is in baseball and football, which I still struggle with those sports too at times, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But it's just So it's going to be interesting to see how the officials let them play or not let them play the rest of the series.
Yeah, I would say, man, football's close, too, for officials being
Football
able
is close,
to
yes.
dictate a game.
Yes.
That's right. That's almost neck and neck.
But most of that is the thing that people overlook is that every time they allow a play to take place, they could just as easily throw a flag and that play didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like we don't think about that when they don't throw the flag. That it's people don't. Well, the players made that play. Well, yeah, the players made that play, but the official allowed that play
let it happen
because he just as easily could throw a flag.
Yeah, blow the whistle dead.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs water is 100% local with their own bottling facility in the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer. No chemicals added, just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers a delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with hot or cold temperature water cooler or single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. It's easy to reach them. Go to clearsprings.net, hit on the Contact Us tab, or call 519-3563, extension 1.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
At Waterboys Water Well Services, we're more than just a quick fix. A handshake means more to us than a contract. From water treatment that protects your home and health to expert well drilling, pump installation, and maintenance, we've got your water covered. Cleaner, safer, better tasting water starts with trust and ends with Waterboys. Proudly serving Louisiana families with integrity and experience. Waterboys, high quality H2O products, 337-678-9955.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one #1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
Before hitting the road, get hooked up at Match Trailers on Bertrand Drive. Everything you need from truck equipment, accessories, and trailer parts, Match Trailers has it. Match Trailers, 1849 Bertrand Drive in Lafayette, or give Matt a call at 235-7534.
May is Military Appreciation Month, and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles and Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service in Carencro will be honoring our military all month long. Nolan's is locally owned and supports our military community every day. We honor and salute because freedom isn't free. May is Military Appreciation Month and we salute you. Powered by Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service in Carencro and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Welcome back to Footnotes. All right. I alluded to in the last segment, I'm fixing to get with it in baseball. Man, it was so frustrating yesterday watching the Astros game against the Twins. And the truth of the matter is the pitching has been the biggest problem for the Astros over the first however many weeks we've played, 6 weeks or so of the season. But, well, probably 7 weeks now. But the pitching's actually getting better, and the hitting is now going in the tank. And Burrows, he did not pitch great yesterday, but he pitched way better than it looks like he did when you look at his line. The score is 1-1. Caratini hit a home run. Next time Caratini comes to bat, it's still 1-1. And there's 2 outs and nobody on. And Burrows throws an 0-2 pitch that's a strike. Inning should be over. Well, the home plate umpire chokes and doesn't call it a strike. And then the Astros don't challenge. And even Blum was on TV, was like, well, he kind of chuckled and said, well, did, Vasquez and Caratini, he's like, did they have a catcher's gentleman's agreement that they weren't going to challenge with each other at the plate? Just kind of a joke. Ha, ha, ha. And then I'm like, uh-oh. Every time that kind of junk happens, my mind just. So he gets a 4-hopper through the infield, seeing eye single. And then the next guy walks, and then the next guy hits a 3-run homer. So they should have had 1 run yesterday. But you had 2 chances. One, umpire, who was awful yesterday. And the funny thing is, they said of the whole crew, all season long, he had the best percentage of he missed the fewest amount of strikes. He was terrible yesterday. So the rest of the game, what happens? He botches call after call after call. And the Twins challenge all of them and get them all right. I'm like, why could...
Frustrating, huh?
Oh, just awful.
I've never heard you do a full grunt like that
just
on air.
Awful.
That was special.
And what else is awful? Guess what? Guess what the Cubs did? Lost again.
So naturally, they're due for the win.
The Cubs have lost 9 of 11.
Well, yeah, you got Pete Crow Armstrong fighting fans out in in warm-ups.
They won 10 in a row. That's who you want to play. And, of course, the Rangers got it. Like, the Cubs had won 10 in a row, and then the Rangers got to play them. And of course, the Rangers beat them twice, and then Atlanta got to play them and beat them twice. They won 2 games. They've lost 9 of 11, so guess what? Now they're due to win.
Well, so is Houston. Houston has...
Astros haven't lost. They haven't gotten swept in a while.
Yeah, but they've won 3 series this year.
No, they won more than that. But, even of late, but again, they haven't gotten swept. That's where, and not only that, Arrighetti, who's been just fabulous, he's kind of due to not pitch fabulous.
Yeah.
You can't pitch fabulous every game.
I'll give you that one.
And so it's not anything against him. I'm not expecting him to pitch fabulous every game.
Yeah.
That doesn't, unless you're, have one of these.
You're a Cy Young winner.
Yeah, unless you have one of these unbelievable miracle seasons. Very few pitchers. Even Skeens got lit in his last outing.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
So this has just got nightmare written all over it in this series.
And again, Wrigley.
The last time they went to Wrigley, the Astros played about as bad as a major league team can play. They got completely crushed for 3 games. Was never in it for 1 second, the whole series. And so now I got a stupid Cubs team that can't win a game, due to win. Arrighetti's due to not have his best performance. This team just can't get a break with the Piper right now. They just cannot get a break. But again, I don't know if they'd have won yesterday, but it should have been 1-1 going to the bottom of the 9th.
I feel like they still would have lost just how they've been playing. But, hey. You're the Astros fan, so you got to love
Well,
them.
I mean, the biggest thing is that Burrow's at least pitch decent. Oh, 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-477-1462. 800-477-1462. 800-477-1462.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
LSU's baseball season came to an end yesterday after losing 3-1 to Auburn in the SEC tournament last night. With the loss, LSU holds a final record of 30-28 on the year and finished 9-21 in conference play. The Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns won an absolute thriller yesterday against Coastal Carolina, 12-11 in the Sun Belt tournament. The Cajuns were up 7-0 before Coastal battled back to tie it. Then after a short rain delay, UL moved back out to a 5-run lead. Then in the bottom of the ninth, Coastal put up a 4 spot and had the tying run 90 feet away from scoring but couldn't bring him in, securing the win for Louisiana. Now the Cajuns will play tonight against Texas State at 7:30 p.m. McNeese baseball will be in Beaumont, Texas this afternoon to take on Lamar in the Southland Conference Tournament Championship. It's a best-of-3 series for the Southland title, and first pitch in Game 1 is at 6 p.m. tonight at Vincent Beck Stadium. The Minnesota Twins beat the Houston Astros 4-1 yesterday afternoon to take the series victory. Houston will now have an off day today as they head over to Wrigley to take on the Cubs this Friday. The LSU men's golf team and UL's Milan Potgieter will be headed to the NCAA Championships in Carlsbad, California. The championship rounds will get underway May 29th at the North Course at Omni La Costa. And LSU football announced it would be bringing back former head coach Ed Orgeron to serve as a special assistant to recruiting and defense. Coach O has coached under Coach Kiffin at numerous stops throughout their careers and was most recently let go by LSU in 2021 after a 6-6 season. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, and we've had an eventful first hour. We went over the craziness with the baseball games that we followed. The Cajuns 12-11 win over Coastal. LSU not losing, but yeah, they lost, but 3-1. They didn't play too many 3-1 SEC games this year, but they played a 6-2 and a 3-1 game. And then, we look forward to see what McNeese can do with Lamar in game 1 of that championship series. The more it's unique, the format that the Southland Conference does, and I don't know that I kind of like it, I think. It's kind of interesting the way they do it.
Well, they have a full-on bye week, too, during the regular season, which is so strange.
It's very unique, but I don't know, kind of interesting the way that worked out. And so we'll see. It certainly worked out well for McNeese.
Yeah.
So far in softball and baseball. So we'll see how it plays out. 3-game series tonight. We talked also quite a bit about the Western Conference Final. One thing we have not done, though, is give you an update or any kind of talk about our poll question of the day. So let's do that right now, sir.
Yeah, so the poll, in light of the recent news of Ed Orgeron being rehired by LSU, and let's see, what do you think of LSU hiring Coach O or rehiring? Do you love it? Are you okay with it? Do you despise it? Or you just don't care?
Well, I mean, it's not a shock because those two have had a relationship for, a while.
Yeah.
Going back to the USC days. So
no, they've had a lot of stops together.
I don't have any issues with it. I mean, I still to this day can't believe Ed Orgeron was the head coach at LSU.
I don't think he can believe it.
But I have no problem with him being an assistant coach.
Well, he's not an assistant coach. It's like a recruiting assistant and a defensive, or it's some weird title, but I don't think he's a full-on coach.
Well, I mean, he's on the staff, whatever his role is. So, no, I got no issues with it.
I think for people that want LSU to recruit Louisiana kids and keep those kids home, he is probably the best asset that you could have. To go on visits, meet parents, like Jordy said, he gets to flash the ring, talk about the culture there and how great of a place it is. Like
the culture that he destroyed?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying in general. Look, I agree. It was a terrible exit, but he didn't bash the school. He accepted the blame.
No, again, I have no issue with it.
But yeah, it was a
disaster.
disaster.
I don't know that I love it, but I'm okay with it.
I think that's
I'm fine.
I think the big thing is, yes, it's easier to say that, he's not gonna try to be a coach again or, try to influence decisions and yada 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 and act like a head coach, but that's easier said than done. Like I want to see how he's gonna be.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I mean,
you never know though.
But again, this is two guys that know each other very well, and so I don't think any of that stuff is. I don't think it's an issue.
I think it is going to help Kiffin feel more comfortable there, having him there. I mean,
very possible.
They've stopped everywhere together. I believe they were at Tennessee together, USC together. That comfortability factor for such a polarizing figure, I think is a good thing if you're LSU. It's just
they both were at Ole Miss different times, but they were both at Ole Miss. So yeah, it. I have no issues with that. With that.
Well, right now, love it and don't care are tied for the lead. They're both at 33%, and then okay with it and despise it are tied for 17%.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of is what it is. I don't think that. He'll probably get less camera time now than he did when for the last couple of years when he was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll probably get less now. So I don't think it's much of an issue. All right, so man, you know what I said we were going to do, but that I haven't done is seen what the update is going on the baseball that's currently being played here. For those that didn't hear. After the Cajun Marathon 12-11 win over Coastal, the game immediately following had a 2-hour, 20-minute rain delay, and I don't know what time they finished last night. Must have been really late, and so the fourth game did not get played. Currently, from what I'm seeing, it's 1-1 in the bottom of the third.
Yes, that's what I've got right now with 2 outs, and it looks like bases loaded.
Bases are loaded.
And Troy is the home team.
Troy is the 4 seed. South Alabama's the 5 seed. The lower seed is one.
Lower seed is the 5th seed.
The lower seed won the first 2 games, and the lower seed almost won the third game. Southern Miss barely. They won by a run last night, and they were trailing in a lot of that game.
Yeah, every game
to
yesterday,
Georgia State.
Every game was a 3-run game, or a 1-run game.
Yeah, we had 2 run rule play-in games, and then 3 1-run nail-biters.
Yeah.
And then so far, this one's off to a pretty good start. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the third.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, it was tremendous win yesterday for the Cajuns. From what I saw, it didn't have they didn't get a major bump like I was hoping in RPI from that win. It looks like they're at 36 right now. So it was not a major bump, but still a bump. And I just wonder, Texas State's RPI is 40. So if they lose to Texas State, it's not like it may not drop them at all. I mean, that won't be much of a drop at all. You just don't know who you're playing right after that. It may be Coastal again. And if it's Coastal again, that shouldn't impact you too much if you lose. You just hope it's not anybody else.
Yeah.
That's what you hope for. I think the Cajuns have plenty of pitching left for tonight's game, assuming they play the game. And you're telling me, by the way, that the weather report is pretty good for tonight. It's Saturday and maybe Sunday that it's the worst.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't imagine that they could push it to Sunday because that's selection day.
No, it's Monday.
Oh, Monday.
The championship game is scheduled for Sunday.
Oh, I thought it was scheduled for Saturday. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, okay, you're right. The championship game is on Sunday, so I mean, in theory, you could push a semifinal game, to Sunday morning.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that, but you could. No question. You could.
But yeah, Saturday and Sunday were the 2 bad days. Tomorrow was, I think, what we said, 31% chance or 30% chance. And then today at like 5 p.m. was the only time it ever got above like 25%. So today and tomorrow should be fine.
So tonight, Ty Roman will start. Hayden Pearson threw 1 batter, so he could pitch again. For that matter, Sawyer Pruitt pitched 1 inning. He didn't have a good inning, but he probably could pitch again if you wanted him to. Garrett Carter hasn't pitched yet. He could pitch. My question is, if you get to a 4th and or a 5th game, it seems like, and we already know about J.R. Tillett. When we talked to Coach Deggs on Monday on the show, he talked about, I asked him, he said, it'd be up to J.R. Tillett whether he could find his form or not. So obviously one of the answers is J.R. Tillett. But seems like if they go that far, somebody is going to have to pitch that isn't currently part of the equation and hasn't been part of the equation through the conference season.
Yeah, I think in postseason baseball at college level, somebody that you haven't used has to step up to have success. I think you see that every year with who wins the national championship.
And this, of course, most staffs have more depth than this one pitching-wise. So, who could that be? Cole Flanagan has pitched some, but more midweek type stuff. Obviously, we all know he pitched in San Marcos, but that was a long time ago, the San Marcos series. Cole Flanagan, I don't see him as much of an op. That ball was carrying yesterday, and Cole Flanagan, opponents are hitting over 300 against him. I wouldn't want Cole Flanagan to pitch in this ballpark.
Maybe Murphy Brooks.
Murphy Brooks is another interesting option. He's only had 3 appearances. 2 of them were good, and 1 of them was bad. He's only thrown 2 1/3 innings, but that was all late, and so theoretically he could. I mean, I don't know how much he could give you, but it seemed like he can maybe give you an inning or 2.
The kid from Barb, I can't think of his Victorian.
I mean, he's thrown not even a full inning.
I know.
I don't think he did enough to say you're going to put him out there in a conference tournament. Now, if you get in a mop-up situation, I think Cole Flanagan's perfect for a kind of, I'm way up or I'm way down, and I just need someone to go out there and throw strikes. And if you give up runs, okay. And I'm just trying to get through this game without, having to use arms that would normally be pitching. I think Cole Flanagan typically throws strikes. I just don't know how many runs he would give up. Because he gives up a lot. He throws a lot of strikes, gives up a lot of hits. And so we'll see how he does. Now, because he's only walked 3 in 12 innings, so he's a guy typically throws strikes when he pitches. And so I think Cole Flanagan could play that role for sure. I just don't know. And maybe Sawyer Pruitt.
Yeah, I mean, he only threw an inning.
He only threw an inning. So maybe, if you get through today, he could pitch quite a few innings the next day.
You would think
Friday.
He could give you 5 or 6. I mean, he's giving you length at times.
Assuming he's getting people out.
Yes, assuming he's got his command.
That's been an issue the second half of the season.
Yeah. Also, Troy went up 4-1 right after we stopped talking about them. They hit a 2 RBI single and then had a guy steal home. So they're up 4-1 over South Alabama in the top of the 4th.
Man, 2 out hits.
2 out hits.
They're humongous. What I'm trying to do is kind of like what I say in the draft. I don't want to be shocked. I don't want to be like Garrett Carter's the other guy who could throw some innings. But is anybody else possible, I wonder, that is not even on our radar? I mean, I guess you said Landon Victorian. I just can't. He did not look ready to be able to pitch in that kind of situation.
Yeah, but like I said, you got to have somebody that fills that role that nobody was expecting. Every team that has success in the postseason does that because college bullpens are so small.
It seems crazy, but the guy who hasn't pitched but 1 or 2 innings all season, the one who looked the best to me was Cam Riley.
Yeah.
I thought he had pretty good stuff when he pitched. Again, we're talking about me. He threw 1 inning.
Yeah.
He had 2 appearances through 1 inning, so I'm not talking about starting him or nothing. I'm just saying if you have to throw someone who hasn't pitched basically all season in there, I thought he was the one that looked the most ready to do something. Although I don't.
I mean, if you need an opener situation in a game where you're going to start it, everybody's expecting a rain delay to come. You just really don't know when, but you don't want to burn one of your better pitchers. You could a situation like that, like a Cam Riley or Murphy Brooks, somebody like that. I mean, that's possible with the weather.
It's it could be interesting, but hopefully Ty Roman's been pitching better with every outing down the stretch, and if he can give you 5. Like he did in the last one. Typically, he goes 4, 4 1/3, 4 2/3, 5. 4 1/3, 4 2/3 is kind of basically what he's been giving you. Last game, he gave you 5. If he can have one of these games where he can give you 5 innings and you're still very much in the game, you feel good about it, and then I would think Hayden Pearson would be the next one out. But again, it's just a guessing game right now. I don't know if they can keep they're hitting right now like crazy.
Yeah.
And so you would think they're going to have at least one game where they don't get a lot of hits. Now, again, getting a lot of hits doesn't always you could have 4 hits and 6 runs if they walk and hit you.
Well, I mean, what was it? Galt or Spalita had 1 hit and 5 runs.
Yeah. So, again, the Piper doesn't really care about walks and hit batsmen. It's not so much, it's how many hits you can get. I mean, you can only get so many hits. And they've gotten a lot in the last 2 games. And so it'll be interesting to see how they do against a Texas State team. That was obviously but that was in San Marcos. So, and it's going to be playing late at night. It's a little bit different, I guess. But the left field was pretty short, and that ball was carrying yesterday.
Yeah, it was flying.
Got to stop the bad base running.
That also hurt you.
But when you're extra aggressive, I guess you kind of live with that sometimes. And they kind of are an aggressive base running team. And I guess sometimes it helps you and sometimes it bites you. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles has teamed up with Johnwell Therapeutic Services to bring awareness to mental health. Glenda at Johnwell Therapeutic Services is a licensed professional counselor providing individual therapy to adults. She has over 15 years of experience working with clients in a variety of settings. If you prefer an in-person session, she can help you there. Or if you prefer the convenience of telehealth, support is available across Louisiana. Book your appointment today by visiting Psychology Today and searching for Glenda Johnwell. Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, Johnwell Therapeutic Services are proud sponsors Mental Health Awareness Month because your mental health matters.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsand, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclubs.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-477-1462. 800-477-1462. 800-477-1462.
Do yourself a favor and download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, powered by Moss Motors BMW, for your Android or Apple devices. Download the app by searching ESPN 1037 Lafayette or ESPN 1041 Lake Charles. It's just that easy to take Southwest Louisiana's sports station with you wherever you go.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, certainly feel free to do so. You want to talk about the Cajuns and their position in the college baseball world. I think most of us have convinced ourselves that the Cajuns are in, and that's why, I made the comment earlier. I said, like, if it wants to rain the rest of the weekend in Montgomery and this tournament, I'm perfectly fine with that, really. The good news is, as long as you're playing teams that have good RPIs, like Texas State does, neither team tonight should take a serious RPI hit one way or the other. Obviously, if you win tonight, that's another really good RPI win, and so your record in like the Cajuns' record in against ranked teams is like, I have to go back and look, but it's like 7-2, right? It's really good.
Yeah,
and so, but I don't know that matters as much as the old quad 1 and quad 2 wins. Their record, if they get, it'd be another quad 2 win, which would be a really good win for them tonight. So if they could get it, obviously that would, it would bolster what you already think you have. And as long as you're not playing someone with a really low RPI that you lose to, they should be okay the rest of the way. I'm just saying, if they decide to just rain out the rest of the tournament, I think the Cajuns would be okay with that. One, you don't have to use all your pitching, and two, you feel like you're in right now.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to mess with that. We talked about how with the Cajun pitching in the tournament, it's a 3-game series in the format that McNeese is dealing with, like we talked earlier in the Southland Conference tournament, is interesting as well, especially when you look at the first series. During the regular season, McNeese went to Beaumont, just like they're doing here in this series. The first game, McNeese won 3-1. Cooper Golden had an outstanding outing. 6 2/3 allowed, 4 hits and 1 run for the Cowboys. And McNeese's starting pitcher, for that matter, Jarrett Williams, threw 6 shutout innings. McNeese scored 1 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th to win 3-1. So it was a really close, low-scoring game. Well, the second game, Lamar's starter, Chris Olivier, pitched 7 2/3 shutout innings, with giving up 2 hits and 2 walks with 12 strikeouts, and Lamar won 5-0. So the rubber game was 11-10, very similar to what the Cajuns played last night in a 12-11 game. So it's amazing how, in that series anyway, with these two teams played in Beaumont earlier this year, games 1 and 2 were very similar. Games 3 was just total opposite kind of a game. Now, I don't know if that'll play out in this series, but maybe it will. And so it's the bottom line is the majority of the innings that were thrown, there were zeros put up when those two teams played, especially in the first 2 games of that 3-game series earlier this year in the regular season. Lots of zeros. So we'll see if that plays out for McNeese against Lamar.
Yeah, they also hate each other, too. They're a long, long rivalry, and McNeese is swinging the hot bat right now, so.
Absolutely. And, again, I'm old enough to remember when the Cajuns were in the same conference with McNeese and Lamar at time. We talked to Coach Kiwanis White earlier in Cajun basketball. Tech was part of that too, and so Tech was always a big rivalry. But I would say late 70s into the early 80s, McNeese and Lamar, late 70s, McNeese and Lamar were the Cajuns' 2 biggest basketball rivals. Baseball wasn't. Although UL and McNeese had some big games in the 80s, baseball-wise. And in the late 80s, early 90s, UL and Lamar had, I remember being at a conference tournament in Beaumont where it was very hotly contested. A lot of venom. I was, we might have a brawl here, kind of. It was a lot of, the Cajuns had a few players that liked to play up to the opposing crowd, and the opposing crowd was more than willing to participate. It was that kind of situation. And so, it didn't last long, and then they went in different conferences and all that. But there was a few years there where the UL-Lamar baseball series was pretty big. So those of us who have been around for a while remember those days with McNeese and Lamar. So, yeah, no question, McNeese and Lamar were part of that. Was a rivalry going way back. Then, plus, they're so closely located. I'm sure, they played over the years, especially in baseball. baseball is, for whatever reasons, a little more civilized than some of the other sports. Plus, you play so many games, so there's just an opportunity to schedule non-conference games, even when you're not in the same conference.
Yeah, no, I wish like McNeese and Lamar could just join the Sun Belt because I prefer playing teams like that so much more than playing Old Dominion or James Madison. Like, I don't know. Anytime UL and McNeese play, I love being there just for the environment. And those people say, oh, that they don't really play each other. They're not in the same conference. Blah blah blah. No, they want to beat each other.
Well, it's been a while since the Cajuns went to Lake Charles and played a good baseball game. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
it's been a while. It hasn't happened very often.
It's a great program.
Yeah, I mean,
they're great to play.
It has not happened very often. So we've got that game. I don't know why I was thinking, and you're right, that the SEC is a single elimination, totally different animal than a double elimination tournament. And so I had in my mindset that the SEC had a game going on right now when I woke up, but no, that's not the case. Their game.
Is that one?
They're like the Sun Belt could be on Saturday where there's not a whole lot of games needing to be played.
Yeah. So today 2 games, tomorrow 2 games, and then 2 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. It's all single elimination. And
what's the schedule for today again?
1 p.m. and 4:30. And the 8 teams remaining are seeds 1 through 8.
Chalk.
Yeah, it's all chalk.
Don't you hate chalk? Most people love it. Like Dawson loves chalk, but I hate chalk. Chalk's boring.
Yeah, I'm not a very big fan of it, and I don't like that Texas and Texas A&M and Alabama and Georgia all had byes. Today's their first game, today and tomorrow. I hate all 4 of those teams, so I'm not a big fan of that.
I mean, they earned it. If they're gonna get byes, then that's just the way it works. But especially in baseball, that may not be the best thing. As long as the other teams have pitching, I think that you have a little bit of an advantage over a team that hadn't played as long.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the Bulldogs.
As long as you have pitching.
I'm pulling for Mississippi State. That's who I'm going to go for. Arkansas. They need to break the curse that's happened ever since they dropped that fly ball against Oregon State in the College World Series final. I'm telling you, they've been cursed since then.
No, so are you pulling for Arkansas or no?
I'm pulling for Arkansas over Texas and Mississippi State over Georgia.
Oh, that's fair.
Did you hear their pitcher, Tomas Valinkis? Did you hear the whole thing with his last name that they said yesterday?
No.
His brother, I think his brother's name is Vitas. They're originally, their family's from Lithuania. They both pronounce their last names differently. Tomas pronounces it Valinkis. The other one pronounces it Valencius. And then the mom came out and said neither of them are correct. It's Valencius. So all 3 say it differently. They're 2 are brothers.
Well, it's probably a Travis Etienne situation where when you have a very unique last name and you're not playing anywhere near your home, in their case, home country even, then, you kind of tend to just let stuff go because you're tired of saying the same thing, correcting people over and over again. And so if you have 2 different people that say
but they're brothers.
It sounds crazy, and yet I can see how that would happen.
And I think when they were interviewing them yesterday, they said they stuck with it because each way they pronounce it flows better with their first name. I mean, it's just crazy. Valinkis, Valencius, and Valencius.
And some people just don't correct it.
No,
The Cajuns had one of their best football players in program history, and his name was misspelled for 3 or 4 years he was here.
I don't even...
Because he just didn't correct it.
Yeah, because you're trying to be polite. Like, I can't tell you how many people have called me Blaze. That's not my name. And I find it incredible because I think Blake is a more common name. But so many people have called me Blaze, and I'm just, no, that's me. I can't correct them. I'm too nice.
Why you hate Blaze Rodriguez?
Oh, I love Blaze Rodriguez. That is my favorite shortstop I've ever seen in a Cajuns uniform.
The defense was better yesterday. The base running wasn't better, but the defense was good yesterday. I mean, there were some errors, but it wasn't the extra sloppy ones. Now, the one thing, did you see any of the LSU game last night?
I saw about the first 6 innings, and then I went to sleep.
The throw to third that allowed Auburn
I saw that.
Was he trying to lead him like a quarterback leads a wide receiver, thinking he was going to run towards the runner? Like, I just don't understand the throw at all.
I think he just botched the throw because he deked him enough for him to turn home. And he made the guy who fielded it, I forget his name, he fielded it perfectly, did the decoy, and I think he just botched the throw.
Man.
He had him. And it's a completely different game. They may still be playing. They may be playing today.
For an infielder, he hit the bull. I mean, he botched it really bad, if that's what it was. It seemed like he miscommunicated. I mean, my first thought was, man, he must have thought the third baseman was going someplace that the third baseman didn't go to. But maybe you're right. Maybe he just made that bad of a throw.
I think he just botched the throw.
Wow. All right, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
LSU's baseball season came to an end yesterday after losing 3-1 to Auburn in the SEC tournament last night. With the loss, LSU holds a final record of 30-28 on the year and finished 9-21 in conference play. The Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns won an absolute thriller yesterday against Coastal Carolina, 12-11 in the Sun Belt tournament. The Cajuns were up 7-0 before Coastal battled back to tie it. Then after a short rain delay, UL moved back out to a 5-run lead. Then in the bottom of the ninth, Coastal put up a 4 spot and had the tying run 90 feet away from scoring but couldn't bring him in, securing the win for Louisiana. Now the Cajuns will play tonight against Texas State at 7:30 p.m. McNeese baseball will be in Beaumont, Texas this afternoon to take on Lamar in the Southland Conference Tournament Championship. It's a best-of-3 series for the Southland title, and first pitch in Game 1 is at 6 p.m. tonight at Vincent Beck Stadium. The Minnesota Twins beat the Houston Astros 4-1 yesterday afternoon to take the series victory. Houston will now have an off day today as they head over to Wrigley to take on the Cubs this Friday. The LSU men's golf team and UL's Milan Potgieter will be headed to the NCAA Championships in Carlsbad, California. The championship rounds will get underway May 29th at the North Course at Omni La Costa. And LSU football announced it would be bringing back former head coach Ed Orgeron to serve as a special assistant to recruiting and defense. Coach O has coached under Coach Kiffin at numerous stops throughout their careers and was most recently let go by LSU in 2021 after a 6-6 season. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
It's the Cajun Heartland State Fair.
LUS presents the Cajun Heartland State Fair, May 22nd through 31st at the Cajun Dome. Back in action, the Louisiana Wrestling Alliance, Lafayette's #1 wrestling promotion, presents its biggest show of the year, Heartland Heat 2, Saturday, May 23rd in the Cajun Dome Convention Center. VIP and reserved seating tickets are available for purchase now, online, and at the Cajun Dome box office. It's the 38th annual Cajun Heartland State Fair, May 22nd through 31st at the Cajun Dome. For fair hours, tickets, and more information, visit CajunDome.com.
The Cajun Heartland State Fair. Go, 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 go. Fun, fun. Go, 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 go. Fun, fun. Go, 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 go. Fun, fun.
When it comes to the best boudin cracklins in Acadiana, just follow your nose to Billy's Boudin Cracklins. You know the original stuffed pepper jack boudin balls, award-winning boudin cracklins, but you gotta sink your teeth into their variety of fresh and smoked sausages. Stock up on the wide selection of specialty meats as well. They're available at all 4 locations of Billy's Boudin Cracklins, Opelousas, Scott, Lafayette, or the Crut Springs location now featuring a dine-in area with great burgers and much more cooked to order. Or visit online at billysboudin.com.
This is your Chiropractic Expert Minute, brought to you by Dr. Quentin Briscoe, chiropractic physician.
Hello, I'm Dr. Quentin Briscoe. You may have heard me for Chiropractic Awareness Month. Today I want to share a quick tip to keep your spine and your whole body healthy. Everyday habits like sitting too long, poor posture, or even sleeping the wrong way can cause misalignments that lead to pain, stiffness, or fatigue. Chiropractic care doesn't just treat pain, it helps your body function at its best naturally. A chiropractic adjustment can improve mobility, reduce tension, and even boost overall wellness. Combine that with proper stretching, posture awareness, and a healthy lifestyle, and you're giving your body the support it needs to thrive. We are in network with the VA Community Care Network, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Aetna.
To schedule an appointment with Briscoe Chiropractic, visit drqmb.com or call 337-534-0091. That's drqmb.com or 337-534-0091, because your spine deserves expert care.
Go check out our YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA for the latest episodes of Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh and Ford Tire Change with Dawson Isolo and much more. That's ESPN, Southwest Louisiana's sports station on YouTube.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Again, if you would like to give us a call, the ESPN hotline, certainly feel free to do so, 706-0111, as we, again, try to figure out what in the world's about to happen in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. It started out like a dud. The 2 play-in games were as bad as they could be from a competitive standpoint, and since then it's been fabulous. Troy is still leading 4-1, like we mentioned earlier. They are now in the top of the 5th in Montgomery. If you did not get the word, maybe you went to sleep last night and haven't heard yet, the Cajuns were scheduled to play the 4 o'clock game today, but the 7:30 game last night did not get played because of about a 51-minute rain delay in the Cajun game, and then about a 2-hour, 20-minute rain delay in the Georgia State Southern Miss game. That Georgia State lost by 1 run to the top seed. And so that the 4th game from yesterday is the one being played right now between Troy and South Alabama. Now, it does kind of mess up your pitching a little bit, or changes it. I don't know about messes it up, but changes the pitching situation for those teams a little bit, I would think. But for the Cajuns, we'll see if playing. Hopefully, there's no rain delays.
Yeah. Well, what's the turnaround time? Like, what does the game have to end at a certain time for the next game to start on time? Is it 30 minutes or an hour for them to flip the field?
I don't know. I think it's like 45 minutes, isn't it?
It could be because, well, they're in the 5th inning right now, the top of the 5th. The next game is scheduled to start at 12:30. So ideally, what you would want them done by like 11:45-ish.
Yeah, because the Cajuns started at 1:15.
Yeah.
And that first game lasted kind of long, but it wasn't really long. And it still started at 1:15.
But it was scheduled to start at 12:30.
30, right. So they were already 45 minutes late. And then the Cajuns game lasted forever and had a 51-minute rain delay. And so, like, of course, it doesn't always turn out. LSU started about on time last night.
Yeah. And I think it was like, 8:15?
The first game, they started at it was late.
It was late.
It was not about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But this one wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't extra late. It was later. But this one was not that far after 8 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And so maybe you'll get lucky. You just never know how that's going to play out. So we'll have that. Some people don't watch multiple things. But tonight you'll have the Cajuns to watch, assuming they're playing. And you'll have the Eastern Conference Finals. If you want to flip back and forth there.
McNeese.
You've got McNeese going on against Lamar. So plenty to watch tonight.
I know. It's
It's harder to go from one ESPN3 to another, though.
Yeah.
Than it is.
Well,
I guess you could have one on your TV and one on your phone. I've done that.
My problem is if you don't have, because you can log in through ESPN Plus through your TV provider. I don't know if you heard me telling James this earlier.
Yes.
But even if you do that, like if I log in through my parents' DirecTV, I can watch like an LSU game because they have the SEC network, but I can't watch a game that's just on ESPN Plus, which is so dumb. And ESPN Plus, I don't know if it does this to anybody else, logs me out every single time.
Well, yeah, but that's because you got to have a subscription.
But I'm watching games on.
But it's a subscription service.
We got to get away from subscriptions. It's taking the joy out of bouncing back and forth between games.
My old problem is when I do have a subscription and I still can't get it. That's where I've had some issues earlier this year that caused me some angst. But lately it's been working pretty good. So we'll see how that plays tonight. Now, I don't know if you heard the head coach of the Cavs, Kenny Atchison, was trying to talk, like he told Harden, and I'm sure he did, and it's the right thing to tell him, like, without you, we wouldn't even be here. And so don't even worry about the last game. Just move forward. All of that makes sense. But that's something that you need to say in an attitude that you need to have. I just don't see how you overcome because I don't know that they're ever going to face a more vulnerable Knicks team than the one they faced in Game 1 because of the rust issue, I should say. And it was pretty obvious that there was some rust. I mean, the first three, they've been playing at an unbelievable level offensively, and they didn't even approach that level until 5 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
And so I've heard a lot of people say 5. I don't even know if it's going to be 5 now. Obviously, it would have been at least 5, and I think it would have gotten to 6 if the Cavs won the first game. But it's not just that they lost; it's how they lost.
It's crushing.
You see them winning a game now. I think they'd have won at least 2 had they won the first one. But now I don't know if they're going to win any. Now, they might prove me wrong. Like I said 2 days ago, that it's a deal where they typically handle this stuff better than fans do in terms of the emotional coming back. Because you've been trained, you got to just wipe the slate. Be like a cornerback where you can't worry about the last play. You got to move forward.
Yeah.
And that is the way to be. But I still think they're human.
Yeah, that was crushing.
Yeah, it was.
That was soul crushing.
I don't see how they're going to overcome that.
Also, just real quick to go back to the field flipping and in between games, I think it is an hour because the game between Texas State and App State ended at 12:16.
Okay, it must be an hour.
So they're in the 5th inning right now, still at the top of the 5th.
I don't know why it would take that long, though.
It is a real field. It's not turf.
That's true.
Which... what was the stat? Like the Cajuns had played on like 2 real fields all season or something insane?
Oh, I didn't realize that they didn't play on one all year. And how could that be?
I don't know. Look, I don't like turf to begin with. I like the Cajuns turf because they did it the right way where even though it's plastic, it looks like a grass infield. Not like Texas who has like the softball style. That's horrible. But yeah, it blows my mind. We got to play games on real grass. Mother Earth wants us to play baseball games on real grass.
I agree. It's just think about how much time and money you save in maintenance. It's just mind-boggling.
It makes no sense to have a real field with how much money you save.
From a financial standpoint, unless you're like Texas and have all the money in the world, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah,
but even they do.
They just chose to have an ugly field. That was their decision. I don't get it. It's one of the ugliest fields you'll ever look at.
That's funny. Don't make me laugh because then I choke. Yeah, they just chose to have an ugly.
It's so bad. It just nothing about it looks good. I don't understand why teams opt for that design when they're going to do their turf field.
By the way, did LSU show that you can get Auburn out last night, or did we already think you could get Auburn out?
I think they showed you can get Auburn out. They just didn't show that they could pair that with hitting the ball and scoring runs.
Do you have an early gut feeling
about the SEC.
Where they would send the Cajuns if they get in like we think they're going to get in?
Well, the two that I saw recently, and that was today, but the problem with one of them was it said it was updated 3 days ago, and that was the NCAA's. They had them going to Auburn for that one. But the other one...
D1 had that last I saw.
Baseball America had them going to Gainesville. That's, I mean...
Yeah, it seems like every time. The Miami trip was not bad, but that was a flight. And I've gone to Pensacola, and it wasn't bad. But to me, Pensacola is, it's essentially Alabama. It's not really Florida. But, the Tallahassee football trip was by far the worst trip I ever took. And the basketball trip wasn't great either. What did they play? Orlando? That was not great. I'm not talking about the sport, the actual game. I'm talking about the logistics of getting there. I mean, the traffic was so awful going to Orlando. I mean, it was awful.
And if they get sent to Gainesville, I don't know if you're going to want to drive that. That's a 9-hour and 22-minute drive. I mean, that's rough for a drive.
Georgia Tech's possible.
I haven't seen that one. I just hope we don't. I feel like we go to College Station every year.
If they go back to College Station, then like I said the other day, College Station has now become the new Baton Rouge. For years, it was like every time they always went to Baton Rouge, it seems like. And now College Station could become the new Baton Rouge. But College Station is good because it's not a lot of traffic in. It's easy to get around the campus.
It's a boring
you've
town.
Been there. It's not. Yeah, it's just so much easier to maneuver than. You know.
Because you're going through Texas, so you got big roads, and it's not a lot.
You don't sit in traffic for like an hour. Like, I sat for an hour and made zero progress when on the way to Orlando. It was awful.
Well, I can tell you, if they go to Auburn, you're also going to be hitting traffic.
And Tallahassee, just the logistics of that game, that was just, I've never had a harder time getting into a stadium and doing, I mean, it was just awful. Complete nightmare, Tallahassee trip.
Do you have like a distance cutoff to where that determines if you're going to fly or drive?
I don't know.
Because the Auburn trip would be about a 7-hour drive, and that's with no stops.
To Auburn.
But that's no stops.
What is the drive to Atlanta?
Let's see.
Raymond and I drove to Atlanta when the Cajuns beat Georgia State and drove back after the game.
That's an 8-hour and 25-minute drive.
Yeah, that's about the same.
You're insane if you think I'm
that was
driving
insane.
there back.
And, man, was it raining on the way back.
Yeah, no shot am I making that.
Look, I did some praying on that trip back.
I don't blame you. I would have, too.
It was pouring.
Plus, it's you two in the car, so I know you are, crazy as is, and you text and drive and everything.
Yeah, I don't know if we would try that one again.
No, I don't think you should. But I think Gainesville, you got to fly if it's Gainesville.
All right, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Whether it's a tempting text message or a quick glance at your GPS, taking your eyes off the road for just a moment can have serious consequences. This includes turning around or reaching down. Distractive driving includes eating or putting on makeup. Distractive driving is anything that diverts your attention from driving. I'm Lorraine Luquette Vinoy with Service Chevrolet Cadillac, encouraging you to drive smart, drive safe, and keep those eyes on the road, Acadiana. This message is powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac and this radio station, where safety meets style on the road.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Aber, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Aber, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealAbear.com. That's BealAbear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
May is National Military Appreciation Month, and at Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service in Karen Crow, we're proud to thank the men and women who serve and protect our country every day. And when it comes to protecting your lawn, choose Skag zero-turn mowers. Skag mowers are tough, built to last, and trusted by professionals. To show our appreciation, Nolan's is offering a special 15% discount for all active military in May. Stop by Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service in Karen Crow and check out the full lineup of Skag mowers. Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service, and thank you to all our military members. Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
You're listening to the 2026 LAB Award winner for Best Use of Digital Media, Footnotes with Kevin Foote, on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. As we continue to get through this, it's an exciting time of the year because tournaments are fun. Postseason tournaments are fun. And yesterday's game for the Cajuns, 12-11 over Coastal Carolina, there was a lot of fun in it. There were a few moments of like, what in the world am I watching? What's going on here? And so it got a little maybe too nervous and too...
There's a few moments like that.
Yeah, I mean, it went from 7-0 to 7-7 pretty quickly.
Yes.
And then it went from 12-7 to 12-11 really quickly. And you were like, what is happening?
Yeah, it made no sense.
And so it was maybe a little too interesting yesterday. So we'll see how that plays out today. And we continue certainly to monitor that. There is an update from Montgomery. Troy is up 4-2 now. South Alabama got a run back in the top of the fifth. And they are now in the bottom of the fifth, Troy leading 4-2. So still quite a competitive game there.
And it needs to end by 11:30 for the next game to start on time.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no chance of happening.
So that, in theory, should push the Cajun start time back.
Yeah.
Because it's the trickle-down effect.
Exactly. All right. We talked a little bit about the Astros yesterday and my frustration. I did want to say Astros are calling up. Nate Pearson made his season debut yesterday. He's a guy who's, pretty seasoned major leaguer. Mostly remember him for the Blue Jays, his time with the Blue Jays. The cat throws in the upper 90s and hits 100. Now, you got to command that, obviously.
Yeah.
But they haven't had anybody like that because Abreu, he's not throwing in the upper 90s anymore. That's a whole different issue. I don't know what's going on there. But now, my point is that the bullpen, which was on paper the worst thing you had going coming into the season, even with Abreu not being himself and Hader out all year, the bullpen it hasn't really been the biggest problem with this team. It's not like they haven't had a lot of leads. Yeah. And when they have, there's one or two they've blown, but it's not a lot. That hasn't been the biggest issue or anywhere in the top three. But we'll see what Pearson can command. But you now have a more dangerous bullpen. In addition to that, they've called up a guy from AAA. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It looks like Alimber Santa. The cat's last name is Santa.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
And it looks like he's from the Dominican, so I'm probably not pronouncing the first game. But it's spelled Alimber.
No, it is. You're right on the spelling. I'm seeing if I can find.
I don't know how I'm
pronunciation.
supposed to be pronouncing that, but anyway,
Alimber.
Santa.
That's what Baseball Reference.
Yeah,
is
that
telling
makes
me.
sense.
Alimber Santa
Sounds better.
Yeah,
but
flows a little better.
He's only thrown 19 innings, but he's got a WHIP of 0.89, an ERA of 1.42 with 2 saves, and hasn't given up a ton of hits. So, we'll see.
And yeah,
I mean, they've been throwing guys out there.
Peyton Manning
from
ERAs.
day one, just awful, like not major league pitchers. And I don't know if this guy Santa's a major league pitcher. We'll see. But I know Pearson is. And so, again, there's some things that are slowly developing into where you're having a major league team again. They just have to get some major league outfielders, and we're about to go through an entire another season without a major league outfield again.
They also have to be healthy. That's another thing.
Well, yeah, but some of those guys are coming back, but I don't know how many of them. And again, the irony is the bullpen is showing signs of actually being able to be good enough going into like the second half of the season if they can stay healthy. But you got to figure out how to score runs. All right, y'all have a good day.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks.